I want to talk now about some other uses of the governmental power. We talked about zoning being one of them, and we've been touching on zoning. There's some other governmental powers that tell you how to build your own building. Most commonly, it's called the building codes. The building code is nothing more than a set of engineering standards that produce a safe building for people and the public and your employees to conduct business in. For example, hey, I want to build a building, right? My building, I want to build it out of balsa wood. Should be my right. It's my building, my land. No, that would not be safe for people coming into your building or your employees. So there are a set of standards that says you must build, if you want to build a building, here's how you must build it so that it's safe for people to enter. My cousin is the plan reviewer for the building codes in Marion County. And I hear about all kinds of stuff that gets submitted. For example, one of the building codes that you guys might know is that, I say new, it's not new, I don't know how long it's been in, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, that the GFCI plug, if there's an outlet within 6 feet of water, you got to have that plug. That's a building code. All right. If the building's bigger than 5,000 square feet, it's got to have automatic sprinklers, so that if there's a fire, automatically sets it off. If there's multi-tenant building, they got to have what's called a 2-hour fire door. What that means is it takes the fire 2 hours to burn through, so it doesn't get in your neighbor's property. Neighbor meaning adjacent suite over there. So those are all building codes, so that when a builder decides, hey, I want to build this new building, before he can get the permits, he submits the plans to the state. My cousin is the one who reviews it. He's one of 7. And he'll go through and go, does it have 2-hour fire doors? Is there an automatic sprinkler? Does it have this structure? Does it have that? You can build a completely, totally ugly building and still meet building code, by the way. All building code is engineering standards that are currently what we have deemed as being the safest structures. I mean, they're not going to tell you, oh, the reception desk can't be in the back, it's got to be in the front. No, they don't care about that. All they care about was, did it have the automatic sprinkler? Did it meet all the structure standards, load tests, things like that? There is a very special set of building codes for the residential world that takes place between the builder and the very first buyer. It's called a Certificate of Occupancy, or a C of O is what you hear it. It's only between the builder and the very first buyer. From the first buyer on, we use that seller's disclosure form that we're going to talk about coming up. So the very first one, the building inspector will come out to the new build home, and he will inspect the newly built home before it's sold to make sure that it is safe for human occupancy. Like, do the windows lock? That's one of them. Do the doors seal so that there's no air coming in? If that builder has built the property correctly and passes, the inspector will give the builder a certificate of occupancy. And usually these are the pieces of paper that you see are taped in the very front window of a brand new build home that tells the buyer, hey, this building's safe. I built it. I know what I'm doing. I've had it inspected. Here's the inspections that shows it is habitable and it's not going to fall down around your ankles. If you've ever built a new home and been the first buyer, you will actually sign this as part of your closing documents. It's one of the 3,418 pages you sign. It's called the Certificate of Occupancy. Once again, it doesn't say that the paint's a good color. It just says that it is safe for human occupancy. I think one of the newest ones they've got now is if it's gas heat, it's got to have the carbon monoxide detector so that you can get carbon monoxide poisoning. It alarms if there's a leak. I think that's one of the new standards. There's also architectural standards that are in place, especially for the ADA. Remember, public access, so if a builder's building a building, they may build a new building with workstations, and maybe 2 or 3 of them are lowered for people in a wheelchair. And the doors are 36 inches so they can get a wheelchair in. And the bathrooms have the grab bars. And the stairs, if they're a certain elevation, have to have a handrail. So there are special architectural designs for commercial buildings as well. Any questions about building permits, C of Os? Once again, the way to remember this and the way to look at it is not the man trying to hold you down. It's the man protecting your brother or sister, just like they're protecting you from them. That's the way to think of it. You know, we're not going to let somebody build a balsa wood building because you're going to get hurt in it. We're not going to let a builder just throw up 4 walls in his roof and sell it and it fall down. So that's all of these standards that are in place.